morning.
Well, hey, everybody. We are live again this morning, doing our thing, seeing what's going on in here. Yes, yes, and yes. All right. It is Tuesday. And if you're looking at the market this morning, it opened up and started falling. Talk about I think I'm falling. Yes, thinks it's falling. And yeah, I wonder if this is all because of the strike, because I think the strike started. Right? Jamie, did the strike start? Do you know whether or not the strike officially started?
I don't know if it actually started, but I know that it has been threatened to be starting.
Yeah, I saw somebody this morning in a chat saying it actually started when IWM is responding not so nicely to the start, if that's what's going on. And you're looking at RUT, IWM and RUT are the same thing. Didn't you say that?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, IWM and RUT are the same thing. So that is responding. Ooh, but you know what though? I think IWM is going down to fill that gap. I think that's what's going on with that. I feel like IWM is now going for the gap, and then once that's finished being filled, it will. I would like to believe it will turn and go another way, and that's the reason I'm saying that is because I'm getting ready. My put credit spread is in danger.
Oh,
Danger.
you speaking by faith. Okay.
Speaking by faith, but no, I really do
Got
see
you.
that it's filling the gap. I do see that, even though I am speaking by faith, I do see that it's filling the gap as well. Right? Isn't that what you see? That it's into the gap. Is there a way for you to like lighten the pink so you can see it? Like you can see how far it's getting
Um,
into it?
I can lighten it, but I probably won't be able to see
Okay. Well, no, you need to do what you it's your chart. You do what you need to do.
it.
Right. You make your chart do what you need it to
Right.
do. Not what I needed to do. Do
That
what you
might be
needed
the
to do.
lightest I can get it.
Yeah. So my
Yeah, but it's
IWM
working
call
right here.
credit spread just closed, but my put credit spread is under pressure. Under pressure. Right. We'll let it do what it do. It might be already not under pressure. It's breached basically. 218, 219 is my put credit spread. So it needs to go on and, try another thing. I need it to go on and try something else. Right. Yeah, good morning, everybody. We're here. Tuesday was, let's see what, I mean, the market's already popping. Just know that when we first open, anytime the market first opens, we've got lots of orders that come in from outside. The orders that were placed in the morning, pre-market orders that were placed yesterday evening, got 15 minutes worth. We'll see what happens. Doesn't mean that this can't continue because SPX has also got a bit of downward action happening. But yeah. Jamie, I'm turning it over to you.
All right. Well, as we can see, there is a market drop. This is SPX right here. The first 15 minutes have already happened. So this is a nice little push out heading down. It's bearish right now. I'm looking at about 57.09 and 57.03 to see if it keeps pushing past those. Those are the next two areas that I can see it turning around. In the meantime, let's take a look at our usual information, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and actually all the indices are all down. Dow falls 200 points to start October and the fourth quarter. The VIX is up 14.76%. It's at 19.20. So it is up.
What? The VIX is
Yep,
up, up.
yep. There's a lot going on. I wouldn't. Uh, so apparently the strike has happened. It has gotten started, and as I've said before, I posted in Telegram, and that this will definitely, as far as I'm concerned, show up in the charts. It may not show up in the charts this week, but trust me, if this strike goes on, that means somebody got to spend extra money to get their goods, or somebody gonna have to go without goods. So
Mhm.
that's gonna
So
be
my
a
question
deal.
is this: I'm wondering. I'm going along with your thought. What the you said it will show up in our charts, but I'm thinking like even though you mentioned yesterday that you see that there are like we do know that the people like the Amazons of the world, or um, those people are going to have an issue with them getting their goods. But how would that automatically, or does that would that automatically translate to them as to their stock price? I'm thinking my thoughts are because I was thinking on the way to work this morning, like who would really, which places would actually be impacted by this? And I was thinking more like Zim, people who would do the shipping, could they be more impacted stock wise? Because I can't see Amazon stock being affected by the fact that there's a strike. They can't control that. But like what stocks are like directly tied into that? You understand my question?
Well, I look at the possibility of anything that requires shipping potentially being impacted because when earnings is about to ramp up. So
Mm,
everybody is going to be talking about their forward guidance pretty soon.
mhm,
And so
mhm,
depending on how bad this goes, you got to
mhm,
build in those costs
mhm,
into it.
mhm,
So it may not be like it's going to show up on the chart today, but
mhm,
we know that money is going to get passed over to the consumer at some
mhm.
point if they got to pay extra money for shipping. And plus, it depends on obviously which goods and services may come through those ports on a regular basis as well. Just
Mhm,
like
mhm,
on the West Coast, I think the LA port, there was like a backlog of cars during the COVID or whatever. So
mm,
I didn't hear about that on the East Coast. So on the East Coast, it might be something totally different.
mhm.
Um, but something as specific as like Amazon or something like that, I'm pretty sure there's certain goods and services that might come through the East Coast and really the Southeast on a regular basis. I'm not sure which companies they would be, but I would say yeah, well Zim is in Israel, but I would imagine any of the shipping companies that are there at that port would
Okay.
definitely have some type of impact. I'm not familiar with
Mhm.
shipping companies, so I don't want to front like I know
Right, right, right.
who they are. But
Front.
yeah, nah, I don't want to do that. But I'm pretty sure that would be. I know that one of the things that happened as part of the strike was so the strike is happening. I guess there was a 6-year deal that the workers had, and that has expired. So of
Ah,
course they
okay.
want to re up on that. But then I
Mhm.
think one of the shipping companies is in Maersk. One of the shipping companies I think was using like some type of like non-human labor to move some stuff, and then that became an
Okay.
issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so there's a nice little snowball of things that's happening all at
Mhm.
once. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm sorry I took you kind of off the, but I
no,
just
it's all good.
I was pondering that on my way to work this morning. Like, who exactly would be like a direct line into the issue? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the So this is what this is saying. No, that's not telling me the name of the company. I thought it was going to show us the name of the companies. Because yeah, I don't know the name of the specific companies, but I do know that this is not the only port, obviously, that's been getting hit
Yeah.
by different things.
Mhm.
That Panama Canal was a big deal too. Um, yeah, so Maersk is the name of the is Danish, but that's the one that I was talking about. They kind of got somebody peeped them doing some stuff with the non-humans, and they wasn't feeling that.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're not mentioning at least in this article they're not mentioning specific companies, but we know that shipping, trucking, and railroad are the ways that our goods get moved. So it is definitely a big deal.
Mhm, and I know there was probably some impact from the hurricanes as well. I saw pictures of people some folks who were literally stuck in their trucks, and where there was flash flooding, where somebody's seawall had given in, and I don't remember where it was. I want to say it was either upper Florida or no, I don't think it was here. I think it was on the West Coast side. Anyway, the seawall had given in, and they basically the city was flooding. People were literally sitting in their trucks in floods, in in hauling. They were hauling goods, but they were in their trucks and stuck.
Mm, wow.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
No.
That's not good at all. So yeah, we definitely gonna have to keep an eye on this because I guess that'll be the next thing to watch and see where things pop up that this is impacting.
Hmm.
So that'll be another thing we kind of can add to keep in mind because I would imagine that
Hmm.
market movers or one of these categories is probably going to end up having some of these shipping companies in it.
Hmm.
You know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. So we got let's take a look real quick at our. I still like to look at the pre-market and see what it's doing just by
Mhm.
habit.
Whenever you're ready for whenever I do have Adam ready,
Okay.
whenever you get
Everything
there.
is still down over 65%. We have officially dropped 0.65% on all indices. Today, before open, Paychex, McCormick, Acuity Brands, and Unfi all reported. After close today, Nike, Lamb Weston, and RGP Paychex is in the non-hardware tech space. Um, so that is one that I have noted. Tomorrow, RPM before open, RPM in Conagra. And then after close, tomorrow, Levi's is reporting as well. Thursday, Constellation Brands before open with Angio Dynamics as well. And then Friday before open, Apogee Enterprises is reporting. Let's take a look and see what's happening. So here's the thing. One of the things that I did notice that with a lot of our orange and red folders, a lot of them happen before market even opens. Um, Sometimes, real early in the morning, 7 o'clock, but a lot of them will happen at between 8 and sometimes even before 10 o'clock. So 9:45, we got final PMI manufacturing, orange folder, orange folder. There's nothing that showed up yet. Red folder, 10 o'clock, ISM manufacturing PMI. Actually, the first one is the final manufacturing PMI. That's the orange folder. Red folder, ISM manufacturing PMI. Red folder, JOLTS job openings, and then the ISM manufacturing prices. This is all orange. That one is orange. Again, 10 o'clock, construction spending month over month is the yellow folder. All day today is the Ward's total vehicle sales. So that's happened 11 o'clock. Here we go. FOMC member Bostic speaks, 11:10. FOMC member Cook speaks. And then we're up out of here, 6:15. FOMC member Barkin, Bostic, and Collins all speak today at 6:15. So we'll be up out of there. So we have yellow folders after 11 o'clock, according to Forex Factory. In terms of investing.com, we had the red book year over year, which was 1 star over here, 0.53% neutral impact. On the economy, 945 was the S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI for September. Theirs was better than forecast. That was a 3 star over here. We got coming up the construction spending month over month for August, 2 stars. The Dallas Fed PCE for August, 1 star. And then the ISM manufacturing employment for September, 2 stars, 1 star for the ISM manufacturing new orders index for September. That's a 1 star, 3 stars for the ISM manufacturing PMI for September and the ISM manufacturing prices for September, along with the JOLTS job openings for August. Um, Also coming up is the Dallas Fed Services revenues, which is 1 star over here for September, and the Texas Services sector outlook for September, both 1 stars. Bostic speaking at 11 o'clock is 2 stars over here. And then 1 star for the Fed Governor Cook speaking at 11:10. At noon, 2 stars, Atlanta Fed GDP now quarter 3. I'm always surprised that this one doesn't even show up on the Forex Factory calendar. I usually don't see Atlanta Fed GDP now over there on the other one. And
I'm really wondering about the way sometimes there's like who does Forex Factory like? Why do they not have all the same stuff, and why do they have different views on how much volatility it's going to be? It's like I mean, not that you should see the exact same things, but you should see, especially things that are going to be the things that are going to be um like impactful. There we go. Things that are impactful should definitely be the same in both places.
my I liken it to the same concept as just basic criteria, like what they're looking for, because kind of like how the Dow has certain criteria that the S&P 500 doesn't. How they decide to rebalance and who they want to include. I look at it from that perspective.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, there's just some
Mhm.
nuances that they're looking for that the other one doesn't. And plus,
Mhm.
to be fair, the Forex Factory one is really more concentrated on Forex, whereas I think investing.com has a more general, theirs is more general in terms of their focus. They're not, necessarily geared towards or specializing, I guess is the wrong word, in Forex. So I look at it from that perspective.
Okay.
Um 4:30, we got 2 stars API weekly crude oil stock. And then here we go, 18:15, which is what is that? 6:15, Fed Collins speaking. At that's 1 star. Barkin speaking is also 1 star, and then Bostic speaking is 2 stars, which is interesting. I wonder why they got the extra star. But anyway, so that's what we got for earnings for investing.com and for our Forex Factory economic information. All right, let's hear what Mancini got to say.
Well, well, well. Let's see. He's got us. Here we go. Come on, add to the stage. IWM is recovering, by the way. It went down and filled that gap, as I said, and now it is turning green, turning back green. I don't think it's green on the day, but it is going back up at this point. Okay. Yesterday afternoon, we put in a monster failed breakdown of the key 5727 level, and as posted, it would trigger to 5765 plus and SPX. Today, 5732 will be the bull or bear line. We're not there at this point. We're at 5717. No change. 5754 is weak to 5775 equals chop. 5754 must hold in order to keep 5783 plus alive. If 5754 fails, then we dip to 5743 and 5732 again. Now, from what I see, we're below all those numbers. Um, I want to make sure I did my good subtracting. Yep, I see the gap between the two of them as 45 points. Um, Listen, when I was on TradingView, there's you put in SPX and there's several different choices. Why? Why does CB these different people? Anyway, I had to go find the one that made sense because the one I was looking at initially didn't make any sense. I was like, nope, nope, you can't be right. Nope, you can't be right. Nope, you can't be right. So either way, we I think we got one now that what do you see the current price of SPX as, Jamie? I have 57.12. What do you see
I
on
have
your chart?
5713 or
Yeah.
5712.90, but
Okay.
5712.
Okay. We're in the same area. Okay, good. So that means we're in the same spot. Okay. That's what I see. If you're doing XSP, you got 579 on the call credit spread side and 573 on the put credit spread side. Okay. The gap between these two, as I said, is about 45 points. Here's our list of trade ideas for the week. Right? It's a pretty good sized list, but there's plenty to choose from. Plenty to choose from. What do you like in here? Spy is in here. Triple Q is in here. VU, TJ Maxx, XLI, XLU. We got Walmart. We got lots of things. AbbVie. If you want to decide you in the healthcare sector, there's Johnson and Johnson. If you with utilities, you can do that. If you with consumers, I don't know if McDonald's is a consumer staple. That's probably a consumer discretionary. Either way, you got lots of stuff to choose from on this list. Okay, you got some fuel, you got some medical, you got Google on this list, all the things. Alrighty. So pick from here, pull out your collateral, and let's use it. I'm gonna actually go look at some of those iron condors. Yesterday, my day did not include the ability to concentrate on any of this because my kids are getting ready. My students, they're not kids. Many of them are, but they're students, they're adults, are getting ready to take their second test, which will be they're taking their second test tomorrow and the next day. And anytime they get ready to take a test, the pressure's on them, but it's also on the teacher because, not like I can't learn for you, but of course they don't really blame. They look with the side eye at the teacher if too many of your kids don't pass. Like, okay, what you doing over there? What you doing? What you doing that your kids not doing better? Okay, so this is the list though. Let's take a look at some of the stuff on this list and see what we see. I think I'm gonna look at UPS and see what it's doing on this list. Okay. I created this trades journal for you to put your daily or weekly watch list on it. You can put your daily or weekly watch list here. What stock symbol are you watching? What's your entry criteria? What did you actually do? And then what were the results of that, right? The link, if you're following along with me, which I forgot to include Instagram, the link is in the comments. So you can go and grab you a copy out of the comments. Okay. All righty. Jamie, back to you.
What happened to the membership and all that other stuff?
You keep going. I'll hit that at the end.
Okay. Actually, the only thing that I have, well, let's. I can't see. Oh, yes, I can. So, if anybody has any tickers they want looked at, um, feel free to drop those. The only thing from the tech sector, I really don't talk about EV that much, even though they are in the tech space. So, just be aware that Ford, God is doing a new thing, and apparently so is Ford, because they have decided to for certain models of their EVs, they will pay to install at your house a charging station. So that is going to be significant if that takes off. Because now you don't have to be out on the road, you can charge up at home. And so that is going to be a deal. They only own really 8% of that EV market. And of course, everybody is trying to duke it out with Tesla. But I think that is a smart move on their part to make their to keep their brand going in terms of the EV space and keep highlighting what they're doing. So we got IWM, Triple Q, and Micron, which is MU. So let's take a look and see what we got going on. 2 year, all right. This looks like IWM. This is the daily chart, and this has hit what we would normally call a buyer's level on this daily chart. These rectangles are areas where there were gaps, and they are no longer there. All right, so we can toss this one. Now, I shouldn't say that they're no longer there. They're no longer there on the daily chart. They could very well be there on one of the lower time frames. But this right here is what I would see as a current seller zone. And so leg in, base, leg out. This is the buyer zone that it's in. This will be a cheer formation that we charted at some point in the past. And so you can already see that there's some buyers It's not a surprise that there are buyers in this area actually, because there were some buyers sitting in here. There's some sitting in here as well. So that's not a would not be a surprise for us. But what I do have is another gap down here that was formed some time ago. All right. So looks like this is trying to push down. Um, as of right now, the direction that is pushing. Um, and let me say this as well. I'm using this yellow candle as the leg out, but I do know that some people would have charted this to put both of these in the base like so. For me, this is less risk. So that's the reason why I took it from that angle, but I have seen it done more than one way. If I'm looking at this IWM, I'm gonna be looking at this from a call credit spread. I wouldn't be getting in yet, but I will start looking right now. So let's look at the call credit spread since we are looking at price to be dropping. Let's see how that turns out for us. I know folks is doing 0 DTE. So let's assume somebody doing a 0 DTE, 0 DTE, 0 DTE. This is
Is
79%.
that the way your dad would say it?
Of course, 0 DTE.
That was a funny dude.
0 DTE.
Oh my goodness.
And let's see here. So we are above price. What I like about this is that the volume is a nice volume, 11,000. So that's cool. And we got on this is a one spread, $100 collateral, 15 cents on that one spread. Not bad at all. I would not be messing around with I wait to get in, but 15 cents it's not a bad deal. And that's 81. There's about 80% out of the money. So that wouldn't be a bad spot to take a look at. I don't know if the person requesting the ticker is already in something or not, but definitely would be above price. And since things are moving, and if it's dropping right now, though, that also means that your premiums are going to be lower if you're not getting in right now. Like I said, I wait to get in for another 15 minutes ish. 1 second. Okay, so this is dropping further into this buyer zone right now. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. The low for this last candle over here in this area from September 16th was 216.14. Now that doesn't mean it's gonna land on it exactly, but I did note that the low for that and the low for this other candle was 217.26. So I'm interested in seeing what's gonna happen while it's down here. But for IWM, that is about I mean that's more than a little more than 10% return on collateral. So then that's for 0 DTE. The one I looked at was for today, expiring. Somebody was looking for, let's say, Friday, which I know people do, and I'll be going to 22. You can do 77% off the money. I know who would be there. You can go 77% off the money, and let's see what we're looking at. And 22 cents on a $100 collateral. So that's 20% return on collateral. So yeah, get in where you fit in, and of course you want that to when it's coming up and it's getting closer to the strike. your premium be a little bit higher. But even if you're doing a closing it on Friday, that's still decent premium right there. So let's take a look at Triple Q. Triple Q. If you're doing the breakout, now might be a good time to be investigating that as well.
Yeah,
All
IWM is
right.
still going down.
We got over here, same deal actually. We have gap that has already been filled from the leg in. This is dropping. There's no reason why this wouldn't be able to come down here and touch this gap right here. So of course we will be looking at a call credit spread on the triple Q. We can really do the same thing in terms of looking at expiration for Friday and expiration for today. See what we come up with. Be aware that some of these have half a spread sprinkled in there in a couple spots, depending on how low or how high you are. We'll look at 77%. Nothing wrong with that. I don't feel froggy at all. I'm more of a bear. 489, 490. That's a one spread. This is 26%. 26 cent, which is 26% on return on collateral. So you're above price, 77%. Obviously, for those of you who are not as froggy, but more like snail, let's go with actually you could still be up in this area and do 80%. I'll still do 80% up here, 80% out the money. Why not? Why not? 490, 491. Whoops. So there you go. 20%. So 21 cents, 20% return on collateral on the run spread. So it's not a bad idea. Again, while it's dropping, you do not want to be under it unless you have some type of strategy for momentum going in that direction. But otherwise, to play it safe, I would be above price right now. All right.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at Micron. See what Micron got going on.
What's going on?
So let's see here. This is for Friday expiration. And take a look at this chart. Those are not trades, by the way. Those are announcements.
It doesn't matter. It's your account.
I'm just saying, because that can get annoying after a while. Like, dude, how many trades you got?
And again,
Those are
it's
all
yours.
announcements.
It's your business.
Let's see here. All right, so this is on Micron. It's coming down here and it's starting to fill this gap that was created on September 25th. And so what we're going to do here is we'll just put this, and actually these lines I was actually using from the um, from the weekly chart actually, but we have a seller zone up here that has formed. Right, there's a couple of different ways you can do this one. So we can do here is just go seller zone. Distal. You can use this as a leg out. You can use this as a leg out. Depends on where you like to place your lines. Either way, you're above price. That's the number one thing. This will be a gap up here. So leg in, gap, leg out, smaller leg out. If you put the line down here, that will be more risk, right? But tiny bit of a gap out there. Either way, I would say make sure you're above price for right now. This is for Friday, so let's see
I
what
also want you to
Fridays.
keep in mind that just you're above price, but today's it can turn around just as fast as it's falling. It can hit something and turn. So keep your eye on it.
This is 75, 80% out the money. And let's go here. 80% out the money, 16%, 16 cent. Uh 16 cents, $16 on $100 collateral. So that is 16% return on collateral for a Friday expiration. If the market continues the direction that it's going, that may even close early. Um, I shouldn't say close early, but you might be able to close it early, depending on what's happening right here. So for Micron, it is looks like it is trying to push through this gap, which is what much of the market is probably doing right now on different um, charts. So you may see the same thing depending on the charts that you are looking at. So do not be surprised when the charts start looking the same or similar. So that's what I have for right now. In terms of the chart, those are all three of the tickers that were posted. The question is, do we think that it will continue to drop?
Well, I mean, you're in the 10 o'clock time frame, which generally sometimes this is the turn. All you can really say, I mean, you obviously don't know, but you got to watch your candlesticks. So you're looking for some support underneath. This is where you go and you pull in your charts to see, is there some good strong support maybe on a higher time frame. On the weekly, is there some support below here? And on the monthly, like, is there something in this area? Is there a gap down here that once it's filled that it'll potentially turn around? Those are the things you want to look at. So looks like when I look at the pivots, it's down to the almost to the third pivot, the third support, which means it's come down a couple, supports here. It may turn, but will it fall forever? I mean, who knows? But you just need to watch the candlesticks. This is where all that good knowledge and class stuff that we go through comes right back into play. Is this a continuation candle, or do you see long wicks at the bottom, and those could be, reversal candles? You want to look at multiple time frames, so don't just get focused on like the 5 minute or the 15-minute time frame. You also want to look at the daily and the weekly to see what is the bigger picture dynamic that's happening. So that way you can kind of gauge what you see, and then you want to keep a short time frame because you want to be able to see what's happening in the shorter time frame, but that can feel noisy. But you also want like a bigger time frame, a 4 hour time frame, a daily, a weekly, like I said, so you can see kind of a bigger picture as to what's going on. Okay.
Um, I think that in order, in this situation, I would always be looking to watch it based just on the time frame. Of course, this is around the time it may still turn around, but earlier I was highlighting the candle that was also the low, the nearest low. I believe it was this same one. Um, but even if it wasn't, even if it was rut, there was a couple candles that were kind of the low in that same area where I expected the price to turn around. So it did that over here and kind of started moving up. So since there is this gap down here, it wouldn't surprise me if it comes back down and keeps and then retreats again. We still have information that's being released throughout the day, and so any of that news, that volatility can still impact the market. I will say that as of right now, I have a 9 moving average right here. And so it is responding to this 9 exponential moving average. This is 9, 20, and 50. So overall, on the daily chart, I have all three of these as being in a row and providing support. So even though it did come down, 9 looks like it might be losing its grip. But overall, um, I have it as being support for the moving averages. This is the 2-year week, and same thing, um, which is kind of actually I like when they kind of line up a little bit. These blue lines are just the 15 minute, um, but these right here, that's 9 and that's 20. We still got the gap from the daily that we were seeing earlier, but yeah, this can always come down, but I'm noticing on a weekly that you do have those sellers pushing down at the top up there. So that's why it will definitely be something to keep an eye out on. But
Also, oh, sorry, go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
we do have like I said, red folders, orange folders, not just today, but this week we have a list of those type of folders. So it really depends on what you trade and how long you plan on being in.
I was thinking to check also, we learned over the weekend, we learned about VWAP. We learned about using the VWAP as a pivot point, and at this point, IWM, and it tested VWAP and pulled back, as well as, let me see, triple Q. Triple Q is also below VWAP. So that
Can you share that
could
on
be
your
in it.
screen?
Huh?
Can you share that on your screen?
I'm not, but I could.
Yes, please do.
Uh, Share screen.
VWAP
Okay.
is not a rock band, everybody. It is an actual indicator. Okay.
Yes. VWAP, volume weighted average price, is also here. The dark blue line on my chart, that dark blue moving average looking thing, is VWAP.
No, I see a this
Oh,
looks like
wrong
an opposite
screen.
chain.
Yep, on the wrong screen. How about we change to the other screen? How about we do that? Present screen. I'm looking over here and it's over there. Let's see if this is the right one. Yep, here we go. Okay, this dark blue line here is the VWAP, the volume weighted average. If you weren't there on Saturday, maybe go back into the to group, or I can actually probably need to move it to the thing so we can see the link. But there's a link on the training that we did on VWAP, Nankali, and VWAP will show that we're below VWAP right now, and it will potentially operate as resistance as price comes up to test it on a daily basis. This is a 15-minute chart we're looking at, and that's what's going on with that. So as long as we're below VWAP, according to my training, as long as we're below VWAP, the bears are in control, and when we're above VWAP, the bulls are in control.
Please
So
explain for those of us who might not know what VWAP is.
volume weighted average price, which is where the price is determined based on the average of the volume that was going. It's a statistical analysis thing, and it's based on the price action of the day. The price action of today will be there for VWAP.
Awesome,
It's
thank
a
you.
it's a statistical thing, right?
Says the math professor, everybody.
The statistics. We definitely gonna count on them statistics. But that was a long answer to your question, Nankali. But that's where we are.
As long as we got the info, that's all that matters.
Hmm. Okay, that was the end of all your pieces and parts.
Yes.
Alrighty. The Trades Journal, we got that here. Make sure that if you're looking for that, you can grab you a copy of it for free, for the free. Okay. Our membership, of course, is always open. We're always here to help and to serve and to get those people, trained and ready to make some money out this market. We're getting it out the market so we don't have to get it out the mud. All righty. It's a skill we're learning that we're going to have with us from now on. The membership is open. We basically are a community of sellers, option sellers, which means we do credit spreads, covered calls, and selling cash secure puts as our primary things. That's not all we do, but that's our primary stuff. And we've got a lot of charting training because we need the charting and technical analysis to support our selling, right? We're trying to keep all of our coins as best we can. Righty. So you're free to join the membership. Go over to bit.ly/E2T-membership and join us. We all hang out together. Got an exclusive Telegram where I'm there. You see my right hand helper is Mr. Jamie. He is, good, great community folks who's always here to help people. Always, always. Our whole community does it. It's a very warm place because we don't want anybody to be lonely traders. All righty. Join the membership if you so choose. You can pick up whenever. You can stop whenever. It's no problems there. Book when to use credit spreads versus debit spreads because they both kind of operate in two different environments. But you do want to, if you're a spreads person, you want to be able to use them at the times that they're appropriate. You can grab you a copy of that at educatortotrader.com. Okay. Secret to making 10% profits every day. If you want to do zero DTE trading, which a lot of people do, want to do zero DTE stuff as a seller, you're going to utilize this SPX playbook on SPX, XSP. You can use it on RUT, some of the others cash settled. We've got a piece of the book also talks about how to trade zero DTEs and not use your day trades, which people are always concerned about. I'm going to use my day trades on these. Yes, you can if you open and close, but we got help for that. You can go ahead and use the PDT hack, which is taught here, to go ahead and be able to trade every day without using your day trades unless you so choose. Now, if your account's big enough and it don't matter, then you can ride with it, rock with it, no problemo. Okay. Our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account's growing more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. Okay. Well, I've covered everything that I was going to cover this morning, and we're ready to keep it pushing. Yep, you want to stay green, even though this market might be looking red, you want to stay green, which means you're trading what you see. You're trading what you see. Okay. All righty. Everybody, we're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. You have a great green day. And remember, before I go, watching is a strategy. I'm not saying don't get in. Don't let FOMO push you into something you're not ready to get into. Try not to panic. If you've got stuff for the week, this is only Tuesday, right? Now, if you can, of course, close the things. If you, I don't want to tell anybody how to manage their own risk management, but today's Tuesday. So don't make any rash decisions. Let your chart guide you. Okay. Let your chart guide you. Trade the chart, not your heart. Oh, I like that. I like that, Nankali. Trade the chart and not your heart. Okay, everybody. I will see you all in the market. Bye,
Hasta
Jamie.
luego.
All righty. Bye, everybody.